So step one is we're going to hook up the little pieces of silicon hose. We need two 1.5-inch pieces cut using this T, and we'll stick them onto the valves of the main section like so. I'll be back. Alright, so we put those up there. We actually went with, this one's cut a little bit shorter, probably about 1 1/4. And this one's 1 1/2, so that they sound a little better, right?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so the next step has us installing the clamps loosely. We're going to try to copy the orientation and the way they have the nut oriented. And then we'll set them up like on there. And they have them rotated down a bit, so let's rotate it down like they have, and we'll do the same on the other side.
That's amazing.
Leave them sitting there angled around like that. Then we are going to loosely install the band straps around the upper and lower portion of the X pipe as shown on both the left and the right side of the exhaust. Done.
Is that all the way?
We might have to loosen them out. I'm going to put down the camera and give us 2 sets of hands here, and we'll come back. Alright, we got those into place. We just needed kind of extra hands to get them right. We left them sitting just out so that they're on top of the bigger part of the can on the top and just outside the logo on the bottom. Alright, the next step is to take the new X pipe section, and we're going to slide it up into place and try to slip these, try to bring it up too much. We'll slip it up into place while also putting these straps over the, and of course I'm not straps off the other side. I'll get them started on one end first. Looks to me like it's going to be easiest to get this one hooked up there. And I'll slip that down to this end. And this strap which fell off, and put it back over the end. And then I'm going to put the other one piece. There we go. Video. Pull this up here and then slide it up over the factory. Have your fingers.
Yep.
Okay. And there we have both sides up into place. We're going to slide the strap out as far as it will go on the. On that. We're not going to tighten anything yet. I generally like to get everything in place first, but let's show you what this looks like. So, it's sitting now up on the factory mounting brackets.
When it sits normally, it'll be up around there.
Well, these pipes have been pushed off to the side too, so we'll be pulling those closer in I went and got new ones of these since my old ones had rusted out, but seems like a good idea to have some new ones anyway, although Porsche wants one arm and part of a leg for it. But I got it on the other side ready to line everything up. I don't think the instructions mentioned it. I'm going to take the factory braided line, which is still sitting up here, before I get everything locked into place, and slip it onto this piece here, so that we don't have to fight it when everything gets more rigid. So the next step is to put in the pipe that runs from the cat up to the upper inlet pipe up here, which has a bracket already installed, ready to go. I'm just showing you the one on the driver's side. You look for the pipe that comes and angles upward a bit. And Evan, can you take the camera? Hold it right there. And what I got to do first is slip it on up here. Work it in until it's down here a bit. Get it twisted a little bit so that I can get it lined up. I want that in the way. It's going to get out of the way. This exhaust, the one shown on the instructions, shows nuts and bolts, but this version of the exhaust has pressed in bolts, so we don't need the nuts for this. So we're just going to be reusing the factory bolts, which makes this a little harder to line up because you got to line it up with the bolts already sticking out. There we go.
There it is.
Put that all the way on there. The nuts will hold it better, of course. And then move this into place. Put those hanger bolts for the, you can't see it on the other side, but it's like one like the one you see up here. I got to get that on the other side as well. Will then help tie together the side exhaust and the new X pipe. So let me finish that up and we'll start the video again. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're getting one side, going to tighten it down a little bit. I've gotten the brackets from the upper side cans on both threads, even the one back over there that you don't see from this angle. I'm going to walk that down and kind of get it in place, and then we've loosened the straps on this, and we're going to use it to twist the can a little bit and try to walk it this way, because right now the X pipe's a little too far in the other direction, and we need to pull it just a little this way, but I can't by hand twist this pipe. So I think if we twist this whole thing, we'll walk it on, and then we can get the other side on. Right, we've kind of zoomed ahead a little bit, and let me tell you what we've done. So we tightened this side down first on the driver's side because we were having trouble getting the center pipe to center. So we tightened that down, and that also included tightening down the hanger bolt that comes from up above that helps steady it with the side muffler. Once we had that with these straps actually temporarily removed, we were able to kind of work the X pipe back and forth, wiggle it a little bit and work it down this way, so this pipe slid the rest of the way in. We were having trouble getting it to slide in as quite that last little bit before we did that. Once we had that, we were able to get that side to slip on, did the same thing, tightened it up, and then tightened up the upper hangers. Before we tightened these bands, we came back and tightened these so that they rest tightly up against the mounting bar. That's the same one that the factory exhaust used. We slipped the sleeves on, so that all lined up real nicely with the side cans. Tighten them up so that's all nice and aligned. Okay, so we're going to come back. We're going to tighten these first. Watch your language. And then we're going to slip these on, and then we'll come back and align the outlets for the tips. And we're getting close to being done. All right, so after coming back and tightening that upper bolt like we should have, we've now come back and we've put the outlet that goes to the tip in place. We've just loosely, this is just kind of loosely sitting in place. It allows us some movement here so that we can exhaust tips aligned. And we're going to go get the tips and see how all this works out. All right, now that we have these two pipes kind of roughly in place with the adjusting band still loose, we're going to take the tips.
Okay. It is a 10 millimeter bolt, or 10 millimeter nut, sorry.
Okay, oh, I see, there we go.
So that wasn't listed in the instructions.
And it looks like the band is on the inside like we want. Let's see if it slips up on there without a lot of trouble. That just slips on nice and easy. Okay, that's handy. And that's going to give us some nice sole tips sticking out over here. We have a little bit of adjustability in and out, I think, on everything if we want to. So we're going to go do some tightening and adjusting, and we'll be back with you. All right, so we're still in the dark of the garage. We're trying to use AC from the house to keep us cool today. It's summer in Texas, so we left the tip sticking out a little bit to the greater side than maybe we'll eventually do. We're trying to decide if it's right or wrong at that distance. I'm beginning to think it's a little too much, but we'll start out there. And basically all we had to do is hook everything up under here. Once we had everything at the right height and all, we tighten these bolts down up here. We tighten the bolt on the exhaust tips, which you can see there, until it all kind of cinched down nicely. And that's it. We're going to do a little bit of a cleanup. It looks all very nice and clean and neat in there right now. Looks great. Installation was nice and neat and pretty precise. I think everything looks good. All the hardware was good. And I have good confidence this won't rust out like the original factory stuff did. And we'll have some nice sounds here shortly. Get the car down off of the, if you were watching the first part where we took the original exhaust off, what I actually did was I jacked the car up and then put some cinder blocks on it, raised it up about maybe just 6 inches, gave us plenty of room to work, chopped up the front wheels so to make sure it didn't go anywhere, parking brake on of course. So I think we were nice and safe this way, no worries about anything coming off the jack while we're tugging, no jack stands to deal with. Well, wouldn't you know that we have the rare mid to late July rain in Texas, so with the new exhaust I'm not going to go out in the rain quite yet. We'll wait for that to dry up, but we are going to do my son's going to help me do a initial start. We're leaving the car up on the blocks for now. Make sure you don't move anywhere. Yeah, we're going to see what the initial startup sounds like, and then we will flip to the PSE.
Are you ready?
Yeah. So we were looking, we thought maybe the PSE wasn't working, but it is. It was just the rich startup sound. So here you can actually see the valves work from back here. Why don't you turn them on and off a couple times after startup? Give me a couple of revs. PSE open. Again.